For the sailors stranded in the freezing Atlantic and Pacific during World War II, survival often came down to, well, ingenuity. Allied navies had to prepare for the worst lifeboats adrift in stormy seas for days, often with nothing but salt water, ice, and dwindling supplies. In these conditions, a small, unassuming piece of technology became a literal lifesaver: the lifeboat stove that burned without a visible flame. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe and comment below. Every historian and survival enthusiast on After the Sirens can benefit from this detailed look at one of World War II's lesser-known marvels. When sailors were forced to abandon ship, traditional fire was, well, impossible. The risk of tipping the lifeboat, exposure to wind, or igniting precious supplies made open flames dangerous. The solution was a compact stove designed to provide heat and the ability to cook food without a visible flame. A device that relied on chemical reactions and controlled combustion to function safely in confined, wet environments. Understanding how this stove worked provides insight not only into historical survival, but also into modern emergency preparedness techniques. The lifeboat stove used a combination of solid fuels, such as hexamine tablets, or specially formulated fuel blocks that could burn efficiently even when wet. Unlike conventional stoves, the flame was often contained within a small, insulated chamber that allowed heat to radiate outward while minimizing exposure to wind and spray. This created a virtually flameless heat source, reducing the risk of fire while still providing warmth and a cooking method for stranded sailors. The stove's design was compact and lightweight, which was, honestly, crucial for lifeboat survival kits. Its metal casing was often made of corrosion-resistant alloys, allowing it to endure prolonged exposure to seawater. Sailors could use it to melt snow for drinking water, cook rations, or even dry damp clothing. The genius lay in the balance between safety and efficiency. The heat output was enough to keep small groups alive, yet the flame was subtle enough to avoid drawing enemy attention during wartime rescues. Accounts from survivors describe being stranded for days or even weeks in open lifeboats in icy waters. Frostbite, hypothermia, and dehydration were constant threats. In these scenarios, the stove was not merely a convenience, it was the difference between life and death. By providing warmth, it allowed sailors to maintain core body temperature, cook emergency rations, and even boost morale, which, quite honestly, is often overlooked in survival situations. For example, in the North Atlantic, several destroyer crews survived storms for over 48 hours using these stoves. Even a small amount of heat allowed them to rehydrate food and prevent ice from forming on their gear. These first-hand accounts, you see, really emphasize the stove's critical role in lifeboat survival during the Second World War. While the Second World War lifeboat stove is historical, its principles are highly relevant for modern survivalists. Compact, flame-free or controlled flame stoves are invaluable in disaster preparedness kits. By understanding the design and materials used during the war, modern enthusiasts can, make informed choices when equipping survival gear. For instance, using chemical heat sources that operate safely in wind and rain can mimic the wartime lifeboat stoves. Emergency rations, insulated cooking chambers and fuel blocks can be optimized to maximize heat output while minimizing danger. The key takeaway is the value of compact, reliable heat sources in survival situations where open fire is impractical or unsafe. Training was, absolutely essential. Sailors were taught to place the stove on a flat, dry surface, shield it from spray, and manage fuel efficiently. Understanding the rate of fuel burn and knowing how to rotate meals or water melting allowed them to stretch those limited resources. These lessons honestly apply directly to modern survival training. Controlling heat output, preserving fuel, and maintaining safety in harsh conditions are, critical skills. The impact of these stoves extended far beyond immediate survival. They influenced post-war lifeboat design, emergency kits, and even modern camping and military gear. Engineers studying these devices found inspiration for compact, flameless heating solutions still used in lifeboat and aviation emergency kits today. By studying this technology, history enthusiasts can appreciate not only the innovation, but also the human resilience behind these devices. Understanding why and how sailors survived in extreme conditions really deepens our respect for both the engineering and the people who relied on it. The World War II lifeboat stove was a small, unassuming device that played an outsized role in saving lives. Its design shows that survival is often about ingenuity and preparation, not brute force. By studying these devices, modern enthusiasts can gain practical knowledge, respect for historical engineering, and a better understanding of human endurance under extreme conditions. Subscribe to After the Sirens and join our community of serious history buffs and survivalists. Comment below with your thoughts on wartime survival innovations or share your favourite historical life-saving devices. Every discussion helps preserve these lessons from history and ensures the ingenuity of the past continues to inspire the future.